Hi Year 5, welcome back to our science lesson for this week. And this week you'll see that our learning objective is about being able to explain that some changes result in the formation of new materials and that this kind of change is not usually reversible. So from that you can see today that we're carrying on with our topic, but we're focusing on those irreversible changes. We're also looking for you to be able to try and report some of your findings from an inquiry. So there's going to be an opportunity for a little bit of practical work today. So, first of all, let's think back to last week. Can you think about what changes we looked at that were irreversible? Pause the video, have a bit of a think, maybe have a look back at some of your notes. What sort of changes were there that were irreversible? Okay, I hope you found your notes or looked back in your brains and you found those things. Let's have a little bit of a look at them. Some of those changes we looked at were bread changing into toast, cake batter being cooked up into a lovely tasty cake, frying an egg, burning logs for a fire, and a candle being heated and melted. So think about how these changes resulted in the formation of new materials, okay, and how those things changed. For example, when you are burning a candle, you end up having carbon dioxide and heat being released from the candle. And that's actually that new thing that's being created and those kind of products which are being created from the reactants coming together. Okay, so today then, I want you to have a bit of a think. What would happen if an acid met with sodium bicarbonate? Now, when I'm talking about an acid, I'm not talking about really strong acids that you might find in the chemistry laboratory or something, but I'm thinking about something just like vinegar. Vinegar is a very weak acid, which you can find in your kitchens. And sodium bicarbonate, sometimes you might have heard this as baking soda. It's almost sort of like a salt-like consistency. And it gets used in things like cooking. So I wonder what would happen when we put those two things together. Do you have any ideas? Take a little look. This is what could happen. Can you see all the bubbles here which have been formed? This is carbon dioxide being formed as the things have come together. And actually, we might write it like this. We might say an acid met with bicarbonate creates carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is a gas, okay, we find it in the air around us, but here it is being created. You can see there's only a small amount of liquid actually in here, but it is being created and has developed into an awful lot of bubbles. Okay, so have a look at this then, and I said, how do you think these children have made a volcanic eruption? You can see here they've designed their own little volcano. They've got a little funnel and something's being poured in. When the volcanic eruption, lots of lava comes out of the top of a volcano. So if you use that knowledge we've just gained there of vinegar and sodium bicarbonate coming together, you might have just come to your solution. Now, I'm going to show you now a video from Mrs. Sharp, who has had a go at making her very own volcano using bicarbonate soda and using vinegar. So she'll explain exactly how to do this and gives you step-by-step instructions so you could have a go at home if mum and dad say it's okay. But please do remember, okay, there are some really important things here about working safely. You should make sure that you have asked them up first and you've talked them through with it. It might be something that you can have a go at maybe at the weekend or something with them if they're busy working. There's a few things there about working safely. Mrs. Sharp will go over them as well, but just be really careful because although we use vinegar all the time, it is actually an acid, so keep it away from your skin and your face, especially your eyes. Making sure that then just protect your clothes, wash your hands once you've used it. And vinegar can be quite smelly. Okay, I'll pre-warn you now. Open some windows or maybe do the experiment outside if you happen to have chosen a nice day. I'll pass you over to Mrs. Sharp now so she can explain exactly how it works.
Hello Harrison, today we're going to be having some fun with fizz and we're going to be making some mini volcanoes. For this you're going to need two things. Bicarbonate of soda, or sometimes called baking powder. You can get this in the supermarkets in the cookery section, or you might be able to find some bigger packs with some of the cleaning products. The other thing you're going to need is malt vinegar, brown vinegar like this from the supermarket. Cheap supermarket own brand is fine. You can also use the clear vinegar if you want to. Please work safely. When you're using vinegar, remember that this is a weak acid, so you want to keep it away from your skin and face, especially your eyes. Wear an overall to protect your clothes and cover your work surface. Put everything inside a tray. I'm using a plastic tray, but you could use a cooking tray or a washing up bowl. Also, vinegar is rather smelly, so you will need to open some windows. Okay, let's get started. So with this glass here, I've got about a teaspoonful of bicarbonate of soda. I'm going to pour in a couple of teaspoonfuls of the vinegar. I've got my tray ready over here. What do you think is going to happen? As soon as the bicarbonate of soda and vinegar are mixed, there's a chemical reaction. Something new is being formed. It's a gas. It froths and it fizzes and it foams, and you can see it's coming right up and over the top of the glass, so I'm glad I put it in the tray. Do you know the name of the gas? It's carbon dioxide. This reaction can't be reversed back again. It's an irreversible reaction. Carbon dioxide is the same fizzy gas that you find in bottles of pop, fizzy pop and cola. It's also the gas that we breathe out as well. So we've got quite a lot of fizz here, but it doesn't look very much like a volcano yet, does it? We'll need to do a few other things to make it look a bit more like a mini volcano. This is what you need. First of all, you'll need to get 2 cups ready. One of them's got the bicarbonate of soda in it with a spoon. The other has the vinegar in it, also with a spoon. Then you'll need to add a little bit of red food colouring, just a few drops, to the vinegar and a couple of drops of washing up liquid, and give it a good stir. Then get a tray ready to catch any mess and a plate in the middle of it as well. Put the cup upside down. That's going to be the cone of your volcano. And place a small container or bottle lid in the middle. That's going to be the crater. That's where the lava is going to be coming from. And then, in your crater, place a teaspoonful or 2 of bicarbonate of soda. Now you're ready for the eruption. You just need to add a small amount of vinegar. Add it a teaspoonful at a time. You can always add a bit more. And wait and see what happens. You should see some red lava starting to rise up from the crater and spill over the sides and down the cone of your volcano. If your reaction goes a bit slow, you can add a little bit more bicarbonate or a bit more vinegar. You can experiment to see how much of each you need to get the best eruption. In Science Club, we've explored things to do with this reaction. We've compared different types of weak acids, like lemon juice and lime juice and orange juice. We've had a look at different shapes and sizes of containers for the cones and for the craters to see which makes the most realistic volcano. You could try using different food colourings. Our lava is red, but you might like to try some different colours. You can try putting your reaction into a different shape or size container altogether and see what happens then. Have fun exploring the reaction and see if you can explain it to somebody else whilst your volcano is erupting.
Okay, hope you enjoyed watching Mrs. Sharp, and either you've been able to have a go yourself, or having watched Mrs. Sharp, I wonder if you can now have a go at writing or maybe even filming an explanation which explains the reaction and what is happening. Can you tell us what new material has been made? You need to explain how you made your lava, or how Mrs. Sharp made hers, what the new material was that was created, and make sure that you get in there that it is an irreversible change. You're not going to get the vinegar and the sodium bicarbonate back again. For an extra challenge, I want you to keep using really excellent scientific vocabulary and explain how you can change the eruption using different quantities. Think back to what Mrs. Sharp said during her video. I hope you've had lots of fun, even if you just watched it today. And if you do get a chance to have a go at making your own volcano, please do send us in some photos. All the teachers would love to see. Have fun!